When I was younger, one of the things that used to scare me the most is actually thinking that some things are forever when they actually weren't. And forever doesn't seem like such a bad thing, but when it came to specific examples, and some specific things I can actually think of is when I had a girlfriend and I used to think, wow, this is forever, right? And you may think that's a positive thing, but as a young guy who wants to experience life out there and you don't want to be bound to a girl for at least your younger years, you're sitting there thinking like, this girl is great and all, and it's so nice that we've met, but why did I meet her so damn early in my life? If only I could meet her like 10 years later after I've been through all the other girls, I've had this, I've had that, I've traveled the world, whatever. I did all my fun experiences before actually settling down. And it's like, why did this happen? And when I was younger, probably in high school, I was thinking that like, it's so nice that I have this girl, but oh man, like, do I not get to experience anything else that's out there? Is this really forever? And part of me wanted it to be forever. Part of me was like, I am doomed. I'm only 16 years old, or I was at the time, and now, well, this is just what awaits me. There's nothing else in that side of things that I can experience. And the other side of things was, if you guys have seen some of my videos, I talked about how I used to be in a pyramid scheme where I basically dedicated so many of my youth, so many of my younger years to it, and I thought, that's it. I've put in all my eggs in one basket. Went full in on that, and I believed that business model. I thought this was a great business model, but it really just turned out to be a pyramid scheme. But when you're so deep into it, you're like, I've spent all of my early 20s on this. Like, I have to have something out of that now, I can't leave at this point, because if I leave, I have to start everything over. Imagine starting your life or career over at 25, 26 years old. You're like, you go back to making no money or very little money, and you start back up, and it's such a pain in the ass. But obviously there are going to be people who are going to tell you, dude, I started over my life at 35. I had to quit my career, I changed paths completely, and they still end up doing fine. But that was just one of my fears. I was like, is this it? I'm going to be stuck doing this for the rest of my life because I've invested so much of my young years into it already, and I got so far inside of that whole thing that now it just kind of means I'm stuck in it. That's it. There's no way I'm going to leave, and obviously it's also very hard to leave things that you've invested in for so long, and not only your just time and energy, but your money, your everything, your sanity. And one thing that I realized is, and if this is something that worries you, if I mentioned one of the things that you're currently worrying about and you think this is it forever, well, you don't really need to push it. And what I mean by that is life will unfold. Most marriages that are supposed to be forever, bound by official contract type of shit, even those don't last forever. As short as life seems, it's also very long in the sense that so many things can change. You will go through different seasons of your life. And because you're in a certain season of your life, you think that this specific setup that you have, how your life is going to last forever because you don't see anything changing in the time being. But you'll be surprised. I no longer believe in things that are forever. The only things that will be forever or for a longer term is the things that I work on right now and I consistently do. The fact that I'm going to stay fit or work out for the rest of my life is because I've been doing it from such a young age. I have over 10 years of experience doing this, which means I'm probably going to do this for a much longer time. But anything else that's not really tested by time, chances are it's not forever. I've had some of my day one friends that I've known for over 10 years, 15 years. I grew up with some of them. Those are here to stay. Those things are probably those friendships are gonna last much longer, if not forever. But things that you're not fully happy with, that you're worried about, that maybe forever, that one girlfriend you're with, that you kind of, you think she's a great match for you, but you're also wondering, but are there other better girls out there for me? Or should I just stick to this one. It just so happens to be that I met her at such a young age. Maybe you're in high school and you're like, oh, now I don't get to go to uni and experience what that's like because I have a girlfriend, right? It's not like that. I used to think that. And it's funny because I thought that's never going to change and I was committed. And then before you know it, another guy comes along, steals your girl when you're not there, and you thought, bruh, we had this whole thing going for years and some other guy came and stole her? It was that easy? Are you kidding me? And your world just unfolds and you're like, well, I guess the bright side is now that I get to experience more relationships, to be with other women and get to know them, right? And same thing with job opportunities. I was in this one business for quite a while, and sure, I learned a lot of things. It didn't really do it for me, but now I get to try other things. I get to build my life in other ways. I'm building now my online career. I've always thought it would be cool to have an online business. I always thought it would be cool to make videos. I've done that when I was a kid. I've made gaming videos. That's a whole story for another time. But I used to make gaming videos, and those channels and those videos are still out there. Some of them got a lot of views over time. I don't know why, because I guess YouTube is a really, really long term play. But either way, I always thought it would be cool, and so here I am doing this. It's already been a year since I've started, and I just thought this would be fun, and I think this is a new chapter in my life, a new season. And what I used to think was forever, the previous business I was in, it didn't last. It's just something changed, and you just think, you know what? No, I will make a change, and that's it. Or something else that's an external factor in your environment will force you to make that change faster, or they will choose for you. Whether a girl decides to break up with you, now you don't even have to make that choice, or you're working in such a poor condition that you were forced to basically find something better for yourself. And for me, this is what I want to do right now, and maybe that will change in the future, maybe it won't. I don't know. I know there are things that I still want to experiment and try in my life, especially in terms of being related to careers. I love houses and building stuff and just designing stuff. I've played Minecraft growing up pretty much all my life, like played Minecraft for over a decade at this point, and designing houses and stuff and building houses I always enjoyed. And I thought, wouldn't it be so cool to do that in real life, like actually have the funds and the money to get custom built homes? I think that's cool. I'm nowhere near doing that right now. I'm not going to be doing this, maybe not in this country, maybe not at this stage of my life. I think that's not something I want to get into, but eventually, right? And there will be different seasons of your life. And right now, something that I'm building actually is I'm building a community that is going to be pretty easy, pretty low cost for entry right now, because I don't think I have that much content in there, but there's already 3 individual modules that I've set up for you guys to go through, basically unlocking your extroverted side. Because the biggest change for me in my life that changed everything completely wasn't even the gym, it wasn't quitting video games, it was literally unlocking a whole extroverted side of me I didn't know I had. So I'm able to go through the world that much more effectively and get the things I want. So check out the link in the description if you're interested. And that being said, though, a lot of the things that we are very passionate about actually can stop being our passions. That's the crazy part. So the whole message of this video, the whole thing I'm trying to tell you is, if you're worried, if you're anxious about the fact that some things may be forever and you're not sure you want it to be forever, don't stress it. Don't worry about it. When the time comes, if the time comes for some kind of change, it'll happen anyway. It's gonna unfold anyway. Yes, don't just go wherever the wind blows. You want to control where your life is going, but part of that control means once certain circumstances present themselves and there are better opportunities, or there's a better opportunity for you to get out of something, that's when you make the decision. Right now, if nothing needs to change, it doesn't need to. Maybe your relationship is great, you like it, and maybe in the back of your mind you're like, well, maybe this will last forever, and okay, that's fine. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. You'll be 50 thinking, forget 50, I'm 26 right now, and a lot of the things that I was worried about that are going to last forever, it's funny because I look back now, of course that wasn't going to last. What were you thinking? this was just an experience. It was just a time in my life. You know, especially growing up, we go through different phases. I used to have long hair at one point. My hair was up to here when I was in grade 6. I don't even know if I have a picture of that, maybe not. But I had hair up to here, and I thought, what if, I don't want to cut it off because I spent like a year or two growing out my hair, and I don't want to cut it off and change my hairstyle. And I was in grade 6. How stupid does that seem right now? Of course you were going to change your hairstyle as you get older. Of course you're going to experiment with different hairstyles, try different things. I've changed my haircut like a bunch of times already. And each time, hopefully making it more and more better looking. I think I've been making progress in that sense, but I used to think my long hair was gonna be forever because I didn't know that I wanted to cut it off in the moment. But eventually you're just like, you know what, I'm done with it. I had my fun. Next. Let's try something else, right? So many things are not forever, and this is mostly me speaking to someone who is younger or someone who hasn't gone through these things or is currently worried about what if it's forever and I don't want it to be, then it probably won't be. You don't need to push it. You don't need to do something right now, but things do change whether you like it or not. That's just the flow of life. That's what I've seen. Things will always change no matter how much you think you're locked in on something or that you're stuck in a situation you don't want to be stuck. Whether you're at a certain point in your life, maybe you're at a low point in your life and you think you're stuck, well, you're probably not. Maybe you're stuck right now, but something will change. Thanks for watching.